Hey, good morning, everyone. Sebastian here. So today we want to talk about a couple of things. Bitcoin bounces over 40K again. There's also some other crypto market news as far as Elizabeth Warren attacking cryptocurrencies again. Then we have some Apple reporting news, Google reporting news, Cardano news, and MasterCard news. So if you like this type of videos, please consider subscribing. It helps me out a lot, and smashing the like button. I do appreciate it. Thank you. So let's get into the charts here. So we'll start off with chart of Bitcoin. Bitcoin, as you can see, has nicely moved up over the 40,000 mark. It's at 40,725 right now. It has passed the 50-day, which is the green line here, moving average, and it is above the 200-day moving average. So once we have these two lines, the green and the blue, merge, well, not merge, but the 50 line will overlap the 200-day. I think we're going back into another bull market, so that should happen within the next, maybe 7 to 12 days or so. If that happens, we'll continue on with the bull market. So that's exciting to see that we're back in the races again. Dogecoin is still below the 50, but it is above the 200. So that's good to see, and once it goes above the 50, I think we'll have a nice bull run again with Dogecoin as well. I'm a little surprised that Doge hasn't bounced more with the amount Bitcoin has bounced in the last couple of days, but we'll see if that corrects in a couple of days. Stellar is still below the excuse me, the 50-day moving average, and way below the 200-day moving average. I would like to see this one bounce above it to get back up. I do have some Stellar. Litecoin. Litecoin's pretty much the same thing as Stellar, below the 50-day and below the 200-day moving average. So that would be nice to see those as well gap up. What else we got here? Cardano. Cardano is touching the 50-day moving average right now. So once it breaks above it, I think we'll be able to go up to $2. So we got some Cardano news coming up as far as what it's going to take for Cardano to go up to $2 in the near term. Ethereum is above its 50-day and 200-day. We haven't had the cross on the 50 and the 200 yet, so I think we're going to continue on with the bull run here that we're seeing currently. As far as Bitcoin shorts are concerned, Bitcoin shorts are down below the 50 and the 200-day moving average. They're down another 8%. Bitcoin is up 3.5% roughly in the last 24 hours. Looks like it's going to continue on that run, and I think it looks like we might have just passed the peak of on Monday that we had here, which was around 40,600. We're above that. Looks like our trajectory is continuing to go up. So why don't we get into the Elizabeth Warren story that's happening. I saw this last night that it came out. We had some people reacting to it on Twitter. Excuse me. So let's just see what this is all about. So Elizabeth Warren presses Janet Yellen, regulators to address growing threats in crypto markets. So these are the threats that she sees as currently facing the U.S. government with cryptocurrencies. Some of the key points from this: Senator Elizabeth Warren urged Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen to identify and remedy risks posed by cryptocurrencies. Warren pressed Yellen to use her power as the leader of the Financial Stability Oversight Council to ensure the safety and stability of consumers and our financial system. Warren's letter also came as she and other lawmakers kicked off hearings called Cryptocurrencies. What are they good for? So Senator Elizabeth Warren urged Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen on Tuesday to identify and remedy risks posed by cryptocurrencies to craft a comprehensive and coordinated framework through which federal agencies can continually regulate virtual coins. She goes on to say, as the demand for cryptocurrencies continues to grow and these assets become more embedded in our financial system, consumers, the environment, and other financial systems are under growing threats, she added. So here are the 5 risks posed by an unregulated cryptocurrency market. In her words, they are exposure to hedge funds and other investment vehicles that lack transparency, Risks to banks. We all know that risks to banks, especially Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, pose is legit. The nice thing with cryptocurrencies is there's, especially with Bitcoin, there's a limited supply. You know what you're getting with the U.S. banks and the money printing that's going on. You just never know what the supply is going to be. So it devalues your money that way. Unique threats posed by stable coins. So stable coins, obviously there's been a lot of hoopla about Tether, whether or not it's fully backed or not. And then you have also use in cyber attacks that can disrupt the financial system. We have seen a huge rise in cyber attacks over the last year. A lot of them are using Bitcoin for payments. We saw the one that happened on the oil pipeline earlier this year, and then risks from decentralized finance. So her biggest concern there is DeFi and people using leverage, loaning out money, staking money, and all that stuff, where there isn't a lot of financial clarity there. I personally think she's overreacting to all this. Bitcoin is an open ledger. You can see everything that's going on there. Part of the oil pipeline cyber attacks, they were able to seize part of the money that were transferred over to the hackers. So it's not like you can't get the money back if you do use cryptocurrencies. It's just, I don't know if it's harder. I think it's just more open. You can see it, and as long as you have people in the system working with you, you can get the money back probably a lot easier than you would be able to get cash or other forms of payments. So we'll see. Some people have reacted to this on Twitter, so I'm going to go to Twitter really quick. Let's see if here. Find it really quick. Let's see here. I think it was Mike Novogratz that. Mike Novogratz. Let's see here. There we go. So Mike Novogratz commented, if the banks had the transparency of DeFi protocols, we would not have had the mortgage crisis. The DeFi will win because it's better atomic settlement, bearer assets, composability, transparency. We just need to solve for KYC, which is coming. We need to educate our politicians. And I could agree more with that. I mean, you have so much more transparency in what's going on in the crypto market space, especially with the blockchain. Everything's public. You have so much more that you can see into it instead of a shadow government that you can't see where the money's coming from, where it's going, all that stuff. So we'll take a look. We'll see what happens in the coming months with this. Hopefully the regulators don't overreact too much. So Bitcoin news. MasterCard launches global program to help cryptocurrency startups scale their innovations. I thought this was good news. You're seeing the traditional credit cards, MasterCard, others, Visa, get into the space where they're funding startups in this crypto space. My throat's getting dry, so I'm going to have a drink here. So MasterCard announced Tuesday a new StartPath Global Startup Engagement Program dedicated to supporting fast-growing digital assets, blockchain, and cryptocurrency companies. 7 startups have already joined the program. They will work with MasterCard to expand and accelerate innovation around the digital asset technology and make it safer and easier for people and institutions to buy, spend, and hold cryptocurrencies and digital assets. The announcement details. The startups include GK8, Mintable, Stacks, and Super Oracles. GK8 is an Israeli company, is a self-managed end-to-end institutional crypto custody platform. Mintable is from Singapore, is a non-fungible token NFT marketplace. Stacks, another Singapore, provides blockchain infrastructure for the financial industry. And Super Oracles is a Switzerland-based company, is a blockchain oracle. The other companies that have joined the program are Taurus, Uphold, and Domain Money. Taurus, Switzerland-based, provides enterprise-grade infrastructure to manage any digital assets, including crypto assets, digital currencies, and tokenized assets covering issuance, custody, asset servicing, and trading. Uphold is a U.S.-based company, is a crypto investment and payment service provider for consumers and business and domain money. Domain Money USA looks to build an investment platform to bridge the gap between digital assets and traditional finance for retail investors. So it's exciting to hear that money is being allocated for these kind of projects. The Start Path program has helped more than 250 startups since 2014. The announcement notes the program now provides crypto startups access to MasterCard's latest tools and solutions to help these companies scale their innovations and cutting-edge technologies. MasterCard explained these startups use the program to connect with our ecosystem of banks, merchants, partners, and digital players across the globe to deliver new solutions. So that's exciting news. It's happy to see that kind of things happening. And it also provides a way for us to possibly get in on this. The companies that are listed here, we can look into them. We can possibly also invest in them in the future if we see that they are doing something good. Some Dogecoin news next. What do we got here? Don't allow. So Louisville's first crypto cafe will take Dogecoin in exchange for coffee. Louisville, Kentucky is cryptocurrency the way of the future? That's still to be determined, but doesn't mean that there aren't businesses taking advantage of the popular digital currency. Like many businesses, 78 Coffee Company is in the middle of rebranding. The coffee shop, located in Phoenix Hill neighborhood, will now be known as Dogebean, which is a play on Dogecoin. That's actually kind of funny. Our plans are to open a cafe where you can pay for a cup of coffee using your Dogecoin, and that's part of our mission is to make cryptocurrency easy for everyone, said Andrew Lutz, Dogebean co-founder. Right? Keep wanting to say Dogecoin. According to Yahoo Finance, about 14% of Americans own a form of cryptocurrency. That's not a lot, but Lutz says it's a niche market that is serving them well so far. So that's kind of cool to see that Dogecoin is expanding and being able to be used as actual money. Ethereum news. Cats cause chaos on Ethereum again as Mila Kunis project sells out in 35 minutes. So if we look at it here, Stoner Kats. I guess that's the next big craze here going on. Cheers, you guys. Morning coffee. All right, let's get into it here. The launch of Stoner Kats was initially delayed by a day after a team found a bug in the underlying art layers. However, the second attempt was successful and sold out in just 35 minutes, according to a catastrophic pun from Stoner Kats. Gas prices soared as NFT collectors snapped up the first tranche of Stoner Kats, which had a cap of 10,420 NFTs at a price of 0.35 Ether each, worth roughly $804 at the time of writing. According to the project website, another 3,000 new NFTs will be released over the course of the first season. So we're seeing a lot more NFTs going on the Ethereum market. And it's causing basically chaos. Gas fees are going up. According to data from Dune Analytics, there was also a total of 344.4 Ethers, 783,000 in value lost to failed Stoner Kat transactions. Stoner Kats is an animated series that is backed by NFTs, and the characters are voiced by celebrities including Kunis, Jane Fonda, Ashton Kutcher, Seth MacFarlane, and Chris Rock. The NFTs grant the owner access to watch the show, and the project uses NFT sales to finance its production. So that's actually kind of a cool use case. Instead of going with the traditional networks, ABC, NBC, Fox, and all those to get your shows on, or going to cable providers or online content providers like Netflix, Hulu, and all those, they're actually going directly to the public, which we're seeing kind of a lot happening with these NFTs. Is not only are bands, musicians, DJs going directly to their users to support them, but now we're seeing also TV shows and Stoner Kats. So we'll have to see where this goes from here, but it's kind of cool to see that happening. Next is Cardano news. Remind me later. Cardano must break crucial resistance to head to $2. So what is that resistance has to break? We'll just look at the key takeaways here really quick. Cardano remains stagnant despite breaking out of a descending triangle. The 133 resistance level has proved to be significant for ADA's trend. On a daily candlestick, close above this barrier could see prices rise to 191. So if we look at Cardano, excuse me, we're right about there. We're at 130.48 right now. We went above it, and they're saying 133. So we're 3 cents away from breaking that. If we look at the 1 hour chart here really quick. Yeah, I mean, we're really, really close. 133 is, looks like the 50-day moving average. So if we can get above that, we'll more than likely see Cardano going to almost $2 in the next coming weeks. So that's kind of cool to see. Looking forward to that. Next is we'll look into Google reports their earnings. So we'll just go through the key points. Google advertising revenue rises 69% from last year. I don't own Alphabet. I did own it a couple of years back when it was a lot less. I'm kicking myself for not holding on to it right now. Alphabet crushed Wall Street expectations as it saw dramatic advertising growth amid the pandemic bounce back. YouTube revenue came in over $7 billion, up 83% from last year, drawing close to Netflix quarterly revenue, which was $7.34 billion. The stock rose more than 3% in after-hours trading. So if we look, let me see here, what else we got here. Here are the results. Earnings per share, EPS, 27.26 versus 19.34 per share, according to Refinitiv estimates. Revenue, 61.88 billion versus 56.16 billion, according to Refinitiv estimates. YouTube advertising revenue, 7 billion versus 6.37 billion expected, according to Street Account estimates. Google Cloud revenue, 4.63 billion versus 4.4 billion expected. And then traffic acquisition costs were 10.93 billion versus 9.74 billion. And I mean, obviously they had a great quarter, but if we look at the chart here, let's go into here. Let's look at Google. So Google yesterday was trading up in the pre-market. During the day yesterday, it fell back down, bounced a little bit, and then in the aftermarket, from yesterday into today, it has kind of bounced back. It's up about 1.5% right now in the pre-market. So we'll see if Bitcoin not Bitcoin, but if Google continues to go up higher from here. Back to the earnings, we want to look at Apple earnings really quick. Apple reported strong fiscal third quarter earnings on Tuesday, demolishing Wall Street expectations. Every one of Apple's major product lines grew over 12% on an annual basis. iPhone sales increased nearly 50% on an annual basis. Despite the strong quarterly results, Apple shares fell after executives warned that chip supply constraints could impact iPhones and iPad sales this quarter. Key takeaways here, EPS was 130 versus 101 estimated. Revenue was 81.41 billion versus 73. I mean, that's a huge increase. 36% year over year. iPhone revenue 39.57 billion versus 34 billion, up 49.78% over year. I mean, I don't know how they're able to continue doing this. There's only so many people in the world that can, have their phones and computers and everything else, but man, they are just growing like crazy. Service revenue 17.48 billion versus 16.3 estimated, 33 over year. Other products revenue 8.76 billion versus 7.8 billion, up 40%. Mac revenue 8.24 billion versus 8.07 billion. That's a 16% increase over a year. iPad revenue 7.37 versus 7.15, up 12% year over year. And gross margin 43% versus 41.9 estimated. Wow, that's great. They are simply killing it. Let's take a look at Apple really quick here in the charts. So Apple did the same thing as kind of Google did. They dropped during the day yesterday, and then in the pre-market they dropped initially, or in the after-hours market, and then pre-market today they're starting to bounce up a little bit. They're still down in the pre-market about at 1.25% from where they were. They're at $146.77. I think the investors are a little bit too worried about chips supply shortages. I know that we're having this issue all over the place with car manufacturers. Obviously, anything having to do with computers, cell phones, and things like that, the chip shortages. I wouldn't be surprised to see if Apple decides to make their own foundry. As far as for chips, they're already making their own chips, the M1 chip, and that's just being made by others, by I think Taiwanese semiconductor. So we'll see. Apple, I think, might be a good buy here, as long as they continue to do well in their quarters. So that's it. It's a lot of news today. I do appreciate you guys watching till the end. Please consider subscribing. Like I said, if you find these videos useful, I try to provide you guys with good content, something that's quick and easy to digest in the morning. So I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you guys tomorrow.